Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. We don't have mail. I almost feel a little empty inside. Almost. Well, I'd have to actually not be empty inside to then feel empty inside. Oh, it looks like if I'm gonna... Ooh, it might rain before the end of this. So we might have gyroids tomorrow. Yeah. It's nighttime. I hear somebody. Penelope! I see a Penelope! Talk to me, girl! Oh my gosh, my psychic powers are beyond strong today. Really knew what Paul is saying, now I want to try them out on you. Let's do this. What do you think of me when I say Sparkle Town? I'll pick one of these. I think of you. Yes, it's coming to me. See inside your mind. Hello in there? Hello? Oh, who's that? Hey, it's me, looking back at me. Oh, you're totally thinking about me? I'm like, so flattered right now. I know. Once you met me, it's kind of hard to get me out of your mind, Chi. I mean, it is. I gotta give her that. It is. I think she's the first villager that I, like, properly learned the name of. Like, that I could just... Yeah, they're there. Hey, off a go. So, is there something you need from me? Oh, chat. You're looking up at the sky. Sometimes blues just come flying out of nowhere, right? What I want to know is, who the heck is sending them out? I guess it's cool for a mystery to stay a mystery sometimes. It's Zipper. It's just always Zipper. Floof! Brings you out tonight, bat. What do you want, Dumpling? It's the latest. Carrying around that heavy shovel, Dumpling, looking for buried treasure. Finding on my property, it's mine. Yes, ma'am. But I can't dig on your property, so... Property's kind of small. Yeah, I don't know much what to yap about today. I've basically just spent my day playing Phantasy Star again. Because that's what I do. Especially lately. Though I have been considering, and for all of y'all who've watched me a while, you know I get this temptation like once a year. I played hard today, wee. Sweat level, hot pepper latte. What is up, bro? What's up? Event days are really exciting. After all, everybody in town loves to celebrate stuff. Ah, can't wait till the next event, wee. It's fair, my man. Oh, and Dina. Hey, Dumpling. Breeze feels nice tonight, doesn't it? So, how can I help you? Won't chat. Reggie was talking to me about keeping a butterfly as a pet, and now I really want one too. Besides being good company, I think it messed out, buddy. But... I'll do my best, but I don't think there's any around this time of night. But I'll do my best for you. But, yeah, I've been kind of tempted to go back to EVE Online. You never truly quit that game. Not if you were ever actually a invested player, at least. Like, you just never... Oh, Sahara. You never truly quit that game. It's the same with, like, RuneScape. If you really get invested in RuneScape, you will never truly quit RuneScape. You'll take extended breaks, but you'll never truly quit. You'll always end up back at some point. But, yeah. I've just been kind of missing New Eden. And, like, knowing the amount of, like, space nerds in, like, a few of the Discord channels I'm in that I talk to decently often, I almost feel like I might be able to convince them to try EVE Online, where convincing them to try Phantasy Star is not very likely, because, well, 150 gigabytes of storage required. So that's not the easiest sell, but EVE's significantly smaller in file size. Alright, what do you got for me this time, Sahara? Just done like the past. Tomorrow is here. The future needs not this. You must take it. Take it? Why can I not speak lately? Peace is unity. Unity is harmony. I tell this to the Nook Man. He asked me to leave. very rude of him. Alright. What do we got? What do we got? Alright, it's not one of the wallpapers I hate, and the floor's not bad. So, yeah, I can live with that. I mean, I'm living with it anyway, but, you know. It's not what I would use, but it's what Sahara chose to use, so, you know. But, I did earlier watch a VTuber reacting to all the various Phantasy Star Online 2 trailers, and I kind of went a little overboard in their comments, like, trying to explain things that they were like, what's this, you know, what this, basically. Yeah. And I was reading through some of the other comments, and, man, so many people clearly played New Genesis when it released from beta. Or even in the beta and no further, and are judging all of New Genesis based off of that. And I really feel like they're doing a disservice to New Genesis, and like, that's why, as like, it's kind of why I want to eventually carry on with my New Genesis series on my channel, is because, like, I really enjoy it. I enjoy it for different reasons than I enjoy the base game, but I enjoy both of them pretty equally, actually. Like, I don't like one any more than I like the other, really, and you know, if I could find a Nadara wall scroll, it would be there too. You know, honestly, if I could find an EO wall scroll, I'd buy 5 of them. But, like, it's just one of those things where it's like, people are judging it really harshly, and some people, like one person I was tempted to reply to, but I didn't want to, like, cause an argument in this person's comment section. They were going on about how, you know, their favorite move to use as a finisher for their bouncer in the base game got, you know, so heavily modified into New Genesis. It kind of didn't, though. It stayed exactly where that move should be. I forget the exact name of the move, but it's one of the dual blade photon arts that basically you soar forward at a very slow speed for a little bit, dropping little blades of light all around you. It's a crowd clearer. It deals with mobs. It's not a finisher, it's a mobbing move. Yeah, it has a pretty high potency number. Its raw potency is in like the 3,000–4,000 range. The reason for that is because it's firing so many projectiles, and each one of those is counted in the potency. So what rock haven't I bonked yet today? I know what rock I haven't bonked. This one. I also haven't been over by Vic and Barbara's house, so it could be that one too. But no, it's this one. It's like swallows something. But like, it basically does the exact same thing in New Genesis as it does in the base game. Like, it's practically unchanged. But nope, no, it's apparently so different, and that's their reason for hating it, and I'm just sitting here like, did you actually play the base game? Or did you just read a bunch of numbers, see a large potency, and think, oh yeah, that's gotta be the finisher, because that's not even the bouncer's finisher. A bouncer, regardless of their primary weapon, will always have the charged weapon skill on their bar, and... Or no, I did bonk this rock. And a pair of jet boots. Because the jet boots charged art, or complex photon art, is the biggest singular strike that a bouncer can do. And you need the jet boots to do it, because it's from the jet boots. Where is this fossil, I wonder? If I don't find it here soon, I'll just treat this as a 3 fossil day. And if you guys see the fossil and I've just blanked on it, please yell at me. But like, it's very much just one of those things where this person seems to fundamentally misunderstand how bouncers work and is holding that against New Genesis, when I can guarantee you the only reason they were probably effective as a bouncer in the base game was they probably started playing with the global server, which started with new tech weapons, or new type weapons, and only new type weapons, and generally had a higher power level at every update than the actual power level of the episodes in question, because it did have an expedited release. They did release things for global faster than they did in Japan, and that did kind of rob some global players of the original experience, but hey, I get it. I haven't been up by the campsite yet. It's probably where the fossil is. And the gem rock, because I haven't found that yet either. And if neither are up here, I'll be bamboozled. I'm heckin' bamboozled. Did I? No, I haven't found the gem rock or the fossil yet. Where the frick haven't I been? Like, it's one thing to not find a fossil, it's another thing to have not found the gem rock. Well, there's the gem rock. Found it. I was kind of hoping that would mean the fossil would be right around here, but it doesn't seem like it. Oh well, it's fine. I'll do like a check right along the top, because I tend to ignore right at the very tippy top. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh well, it's fine. 3 fossil day. But like, playing on the Japanese server again, like, something people even complained about with the base game, and they're complaining about, you know, global base game, is, you just go out and buy use the most powerful weapon you can get a hold of. It's like, yeah, but you still need to be able to equip those. And a lot of those aren't actually the most powerful thing you can be using, and you still need to be able to upgrade them. Do you have the resources for that yet? Probably not. Like, getting a 14-star weapon, which is the highest you can buy off the market, and not having any of the resources to upgrade it past just getting it to +10, because you need to be able to ascend it to get it up to 30, and then, well, get it up to 20, then from 20 to 30, and then from 30 to 35, you need to be able to ascend it at 10, 20, and 30, which takes a very, very generally difficult to get resource. We can just come get our KK concert now. But, you know, if you can't do that when you buy it, taking a 9-star weapon and pushing it to 30 will get you more damage. Steven, how you doing? Keeping hang out in Oracle today, snooze it. But that's another thing with global. It's for the love, a bit of song, bring up the beat. Yes, please. Cool. Take a request, you can answer your own favorite. You can belt out the name of the song, just tell me how you're feeling. It's all cool with me. Let you pick, my man. As always, if you guys have a request that you'd like to hear, or like me to hear, just tell me in the comments, and it'll be the week after I see the comment. Space KK. Hey, talking about Phantasy Star. Space game. Eh? But, Global made getting those resources a lot easier. Like, so many people who didn't play back in the day, or don't remember what the game was like back in the day, playing Global, they're like, yeah, this was just how the game was. And it's like, nah. Which is also a case of people crapping on New Genesis. Yeah, you guys didn't play during original episode 1 and 2, did you? The game was rough back then. It was still good, and it was still very different, which is the main selling point to Phantasy Star Online 2 in the first place. It was different. Like, this is a pre-Warframe world. Like, the original Phantasy Star Online 2 walked so that Warframe could trip over its own feet. I know people love Warframe. I'm teasing. I have friends who love Warframe. I've not played a huge amount of it, though, but it's that same gameplay style. And honestly, Phantasy Star kind of hit it off from the beginning by not having your screen shake with every footstep. Still don't know why Warframe decided to do that. And why even now there is still screen shake on every footstep at the lowest possible setting. All they need to do is turn that setting off, zero it. Sure, the animation might look weird, but it wouldn't cause motion sickness. But like, I've played for the entire time. Man, cool, Jay Pockets, thanks, man. Like, I played PSO2 from the very start to the end of episode 6. And that's when I basically took a break from the game, when episode 6 ended. I came back to New Genesis, like, last year. Yeah, I haven't been back for New Genesis for very long, but I did play the beta of New Genesis, and it was alright. It wasn't spectacular by any means, but it also had a level cap of 20. So like I wasn't expecting anything from it. I can understand coming back to the game, seeing the level cap is 120, 130, something like that. I don't feel like buying bushes today. I was thinking about it and decided against it. I need to actually start using my bushes before I buy more. Hey Mo. Hey Steven, how goes it? But hang on, Oracle today. Meowing. You're welcome anytime. Meowing. Like, seeing that level cap and being like, yeah, this is a finished game. It's not. They've just started episode 3. Jordan, says running into you today, 67. What's up? No chat. Maybe sort of stuffy all the time, but I still make sure to look sort of fashionable. That's fair, my man. Nah, I'm good. I just want to chat. Completely into a glorious spring now, aren't we? But you'd feel even better if you picked up some new clothes. I do kind of want the pirate's coat, but I can't wear pants under it, so... I think I already have a pirate's coat, too. Nothing in here. Take care, LaBelle. I don't want to stay too long. I mean, the girls are looking to close up. I mean, Vic's really in there causing problems right now. Like... I remember how rough PSO2 was But also, I remember loving it all the same because I could tell it was different. It was very much one of those cases, and I'm sure you guys watching have had instances like this. You may have had it with Animal Crossing, where you fire up a game, you start playing it. It may not be the best right away, but you just know you're playing something special. And that's basically how I was with Phantasy Star. Didn't help that I didn't understand the game at first because, well, the translation layer was not a thing for like a couple of years. Took a couple of years to get it started. And, well, Google Translate was nowhere near as good as it is now and could only get you so far. Especially where a lot of the text in that game you had to manually type out somehow because you couldn't just copy paste it. So you had to figure out what each character was, get them in the right order, and, you know, so anything with a kanji in it was just untranslatable to, you know, my dumb butt. Steph, you have a potato skull, right? I dreamed about getting one. You're gonna ruin your house, but I don't want to tell you no. Yeah, it's fine. I don't want you to ruin your house, though. I'm buying that back from you at first opportunity. Because you've just ruined your house, and you're gonna hate it now. But I don't have it in me to tell her no. Alright. Want to sell. What did I bring in? Some stuff. I really wish she would have bought the emerald. That would have been the best thing. But like, I knew playing Phantasy Star Online 2 that I was playing something special. Like, it definitely helped that it ticked enough of the boxes from Phantasy Star Portable that I was like, yeah, I love this gameplay already because I already loved Phantasy Star Portable. Like, that's where I kind of was with it, where it's just like, yeah, I love Phantasy Star Portable. I've played the crap out of this. Here is Phantasy Star Portable, but online? Yeah, I'll take that, because, I mean, that was where most of the fun with Portable was playing online. And it was basically like one-to-one recreation in a way. I think same zone structure, different bosses, different set of planets, but, you know. It was nice. But it was rough. And over time, the game got better. Now, Phantasy Star Online 2 did have a decline in players. And it had a pretty substantial one, going from episode 3 into episode 4. And if you've played or watched the story, you probably could guess why. You go from, you just saved the world maybe from Darkfall's Persona, who has become the not the primordial, but the profound darkness. Primordial darkness comes later. You know, he's just become the profound darkness, but, you know, Persona has managed to trap it in a time loop where it's constantly dragging it back to the point in time that you kick the crap out of it. So, basically, Persona has given you time to solve this problem. Well, Persona is also you. So you have given yourself time to solve this problem. But, you go from that to suddenly you're staring at an Earth school and there's characters you've never seen before in a student council meeting, and it just feels like a bad slice of life anime. No, I didn't want to read the sign, I want to water the flower. There we go. I know it's Pinky's house. And that turned a lot of people off right away. Because they don't want slice of life anime in their science fiction fantasy game. But if they'd actually played it a little further, they would have seen those elements are still there, and that it was building up to something, because it's Phantasy Star, it does that. Like, everything has a purpose. But, like, you know, people didn't like that very much. So they stopped playing and never really came back. Like, there's a good amount of players that I played with at the time who, when episode 4 released, hey Dumpling, aren't you ever gonna fund a nice scarecrow? Oracle could use a second fabulous selling point, you know, in my humble opinion. What's our first fabulous selling point? Obviously, it's you. Paula. I'll talk to Isabel about it. So, keep it in mind for your next big shot meeting or whatever. You could have went with the obvious because it would be more true. No one's coming to this town because of me. Yeah, like, I had people I played with that when episode 4 released were just like, yeah, I'm out. This ain't for me anymore. It's like, I don't know, man. It still seems cool to me. You know, I wanted to see where the story went. So I stuck it out. And I'm glad I did. Because episode 4 introduced some of the best characters. And also, in my opinion, has some of the most touching but influential lore added from any of the episodes. With specifically Mother. Because, like, yeah, the other episodes do have their moments that matter, but I don't think any of them matter as much as learning about Mother. Because learning about Mother sets up everything that happens in episode 5 with learning about the creation of the various Dark Falls. Like, every one of the regular Dark Falls, except Persona, because Persona's kinda new. You created Persona by accident. Because, you know, Persona is you. All of them were photoners who became corrupted by dark photons in some way. Some of them more willing than others. Like, the only exception there is, like, Elder itself, the base Elder, yeah, that was a photoner. Elder as we see it of Gedemholt, yeah, no, Gedemholt was not a photoner. Gedemholt is he's just an ass, and he does not deserve any sympathy whatsoever. But, like, Dark Falls Gemini, or Double, whatever you prefer. I find it funny how there's people who will argue, it's Double because that's what they call it in the Japanese versions. Like, yet they call him, well, them, Double. Is the question is serious. How fast can you run a 50-yard dash? I don't know how far that is. I'll go slow side. That is not fast. You're not getting enough exercise. And it sounds like you're making things up anyway. I mean, have you ever timed yourself recently? I don't know how far that is, but I haven't been timing my runs, no, because I haven't been running, I've been boxing. But yeah. Double, well, basically it's a case of, there kind of just isn't double is basically the Japanese word for Gemini. Like, they don't really have that as a standalone word, so double. That's why it's double. Oh, there's the fossil. Found it. But, Gemini was basically a kid who interacted a lot with the researcher that Xion first made contact with. Which I know that just sounds like a lot of words. Basically, Xion, the sentient planet, was discovered by a photoner researcher. This researcher was basically in charge of their photonic research division. And I didn't mean to talk with you, Dina. It was great today. Lots of fresh air. What can I do for you? Okay, at least she had that option, so I could not be completely rude. And as part of that, they were researching Gemini, the male side of Gemini, because of their immense photonic ability and their ability to just create things out of thin air, which is not something anyone else could do. Everyone else needed to actually have that thing, and then they could turn it into photons and recall it whenever they wanted. But Gemini could just make things. They were researching him. They had him locked up in a test chamber by himself, performing studies on him, because the photoners were not good people. He got lonely. Gemini is technically the Dark Falls of two concepts. Greed, because he always wants more toys. Always more. More. But also loneliness. Which is why there is two of them. The female side of Gemini is imaginary. It's not real. Gemini made it because he was lonely. So he made himself a twin. So he'd never be lonely. Then he ran into the problem of it's not that fun to always just play with yourself. You need toys. Which led to his greedy conquest, devouring everything so that he could make toys out of things. Like, Gemini is quite the tragic villain because, well, there's no malice in Gemini's actions. Gemini is not eating and devouring things, massacring whole civilizations, because he's evil. He's lonely and wants some friends. And has been alive for millennia. Doesn't know any other way at this point. Just wants to play. But how this all ties into Mother is Mother is a failed clone of Xion, made by these photoners, who, I want to put in heavy quotes the failed part, because she was a clone of Xion. The failed part was the photoners could not control her. So that obviously made her a failure. And they dumped her in an alternate dimension. Our dimension. Where she drifted aimlessly for thousands of years until eventually crashing into the Earth while it was in its developing stage. Like, while it was still a molten ball of molten. So I should really see what this balloon present was. Probably just a balloon dresser. Yep. Always balloon dressers. Mother then became the moon. Now, as you might imagine, being discarded into another universe by these people, after being created by them, that left Mother very hurt, and she herself wanted two things. One she knew she wanted, the other she didn't know. The one she knew she wanted was vengeance. She wanted revenge on the Photoners for what they did. And that's understandable. I think we can all get behind that. Thankfully, all of the Photoners, sans Luther, are dead. And Aurora's still alive. Kind of. Aurora's a gun now. That's a sentence. That's one of those things of I just said it and then my brain realized how that would sound in this context, because you guys don't know who Aurora even is, other than what I've said of she's a photoner. She's technically a pair of guns now, because she's a pair of twin machine guns. She was the one of... Actually, no, I think she was the first apprentice. The Dark Falls of basically vanity. She was obsessed with being the best looking, the absolute pinnacle of beauty. And that's what led to her corruption into a Dark Falls. Was basically the Photoners harnessing that desire, corrupting it with dark photons, and seeing what the result was, which was Apprentice. But yeah, Mother basically sets up by being a failed clone of the Photoners that the Photoners were doing some messed up crap to people, and, you know, without Mother as the bridge between... We know there was a connection between the Dark Falls and the Fall Spawn, because the Dark Falls make the Fall Spawn. We knew there was a connection between them and the Photoners, because Luther told us that, and Luther himself is a Dark Falls. But outside of that, we had nothing. Do you know what's something? Hey, dumb thing. The other folks calling you Steph, and I really like that name for you. What if I called you that too? Go ahead. Great, so now I'll call you Steph. So many people coming to this channel are gonna see my villagers calling me Steph and be like, oh, you're a Stefan. No, I'm a Steven. It's just a nickname I've picked up from people reading my name and thinking it was Stefan. Yeah, I'm just gonna plunk down on a rock because I've already watered all my flowers. I've done everything, but I want to keep yapping. It's also like 9:15 and I should really be in bed, but I also need to edit, so I really shouldn't yap for that much longer. But, like, without that bridge, we'd go from, like, not knowing anything to just it suddenly being dropped on us all at once that, yeah, the Photoners were doing these horrific experiments and all this stuff, and, like, it would be really jarring to have that just suddenly skip episode 4. Like, it just doesn't work in a narrative sense to me to just skip the setup of the Photoners were absolute evil incarnate. I'm sure there were some good Photoners, but they were definitely outnumbered in the power department by the evil ones. That power going past physical and even into the political sphere, because, like, Aurora, by her own admission, was not powerful. She was not strong. She was just beautiful and used that to her advantage. She used her natural beauty to become higher in the civilization than others by simply having people want to be her and want to be with her. Like, she used that to her advantage to get into high society. Like, that's, you know, that's the kind of people who would get to the top of Photoner society, is those who can use what they've got to exploit others best. Kind of sounds like something we all know. I mean, the best fiction is based in what we can relate to, so, you know. Yeah, I feel like I should probably stop yapping about this stuff now. If you're curious about Phantasy Star Online 2 and, like, you want to know more about it, I've got a whole, like, set of streams I've done on it. I don't think they're in a playlist. I should really look into putting them all into a playlist. But aside from that, there is actually a channel, I cannot think of its name right now, that has most of the cutscenes. They suddenly stopped just before the very end. Stardust Carbuncle. That is the channel. All one word. They've got a 700 video playlist of the PSO2 Global story quests. I think they just hit a limit. I wouldn't be surprised if the other videos are on their channel. It's just they're not in the playlist, because I think YouTube playlists cap off at 700. Especially because, like, that's a really specific number to stop on. But, like, if you ever wanted to just see the story, they're a pretty good reference to that. I actually go to their channel quite often if I want to rewatch a specific cutscene or part of a cutscene without replaying everything. So, but yeah, or like replaying the quest kind of thing, because some of the quests take a very long time to get to the cutscene you want to watch, and it's part of that quest, so, you know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I've yapped a lot. Tomorrow, if I'm awake in time, I'm going to be buying some turnips. If I'm not awake in time, probably won't be. Yeah, I need to go and edit, because I have not edited yesterday's video yet, and it's 9:20. That video goes live in like 9 hours, not even. I need to get it done and then get to bed. So yeah. Thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Leaf. See you all then.